Hey my digital peeps, what's up? Now, to begin with, sorry for the hiatus there. I'm dealing with a bit of personal stuff and kind of got me not here, not there, but honestly I've been thinking about videos all week. I could not wait to come back with something big, and what better than the season premiere of Hawkeye. The first 2 episodes just dropped on Disney Plus tonight, and after a well-spent 2 hours binging them both, I wanted to come on here as soon as I could to break them both down and give you my thoughts and opinions on the next step in the MCU's Phase 4. Now, of course, spoilers will precede here, so you know the drill. Go and watch both episodes of Hawkeye before you watch this video, and I hope you all enjoy my breakdown. Right, episode 1, titled Don't Meet Your Heroes. We start basically at the beginning of 2012 and the invasion of New York. More specifically, the Battle of New York City from the perspective of a young Kate Bishop. We see her mum and dad, who ironically are both arguing about leaving before the attack, and this truly was terrifying. Seeing a young kid react to these aliens flying around and destroying her home, the uncertainty of where her parents were and all this chaos, it really got my heart pumping, hoping that this young girl was going to be okay. So as she stood there, still as an alien spaceship came closer to her, the epic save from Hawkeye was what grabbed her. Watching her amazement as the Archer took down these bad guys with so little effort, jumped off the edge of a building, just her amazement and all of it, you truly got that she had found an inspirational character to get behind. Not only that, but the loss of her father in these attacks and her desire to keep her mother and herself safe, that was all we needed for an origin. Quick, simple, direct, then a nice run through opening credits rundown of Kate becoming a great archer and a great fighter. Done. Absolutely perfect. Didn't need much more than that. Cut to a young, rebellious teen Kate has become, being played by a very talented Haley Steinfeld. Honestly, I'm just so glad to see they got her, by the way. I watched the 2018 movie Bumblebee, and I loved her work. I've also seen Kate from the comics, and Haley just looks like Kate. Like she's been ripped from the pages, which Marvel are really great at doing. Now, despite the fact that Kate comes from a wealthy family, we see her out-of-place characteristics shine through. The fact that she wears typical out-there clothes like ripped jeans, the fact she wears a suit to a party instead of a dress. She even accidentally destroys an entire clock tower on a dare to ring the bell inside. Again, another great look into the character of Kate Bishop. Co-starring from her, of course, is the show's namesake, Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner returns as Hawkeye, aka Clint Barton. More fitting to use his name as we're not dealing with the hero in this version of the world that he has saved. Portrayed so amazingly by Rogers the Musical, we see literal songs and dances in the aftermath of the Avengers battles. However, those left behind, like Clint, who honestly is that fish out of water, the grizzled vet who now sports a hearing aid, and to me looks like he is suffering from PTSD as he is watching the event of his wars played out on stage right in front of him, which to me just looks like such a jarring experience for him. We even get this sort of old vet from war as this man bugs him for a selfie in a urinal. This man travelled to space, fought Thanos, saved the world, and he's being treated like a character in his own life story, which again, to me, it's just pretty sad to see. However, despite this, we see him enjoying his family, the dinner he has with them, where he's clearly trying to force the idea of them having this great Christmas, the best Barton Christmas, as he put it. This is clearly a soldier out of war and trying to adapt to his new surroundings. Now, back to Kate, we get even more characterization as we are introduced to her rich socialite of a mother, the boss of Barton Security. The more we see of these two, the more we get that Kate really doesn't seem to fit in this world. The two are even at a party and Kate is left to the side and even being mistaken for a waitress as her mother blends in with the crowd seamlessly. The only person we see Kate get on with is a one-eyed dog that she meets outside of the party who she has a bit of small talk with. This then moves into the reveal that Kate's mum is engaged to her boyfriend Jack, one very rich, snobby-looking man who we can just tell is hiding something. Kate is also under this impression, and upon hearing her mother threatened by Jack's uncle, Armand III, she decides to investigate what this man is up to underneath the party he is hosting. Sure enough, there's some black market auction that Kate stumbles in on, and we see the Ronin sword and suit make an appearance. We knew this was coming, as if you'd seen the trailers, this was one of the drops there to create some buzz for the series. Ronin returns and it's not Clint Barton, so who could it be, sort of thing. It is of course Kate who, in a scramble, needs a disguise as we meet the series' big bad, or more baddies, the Tracksuit Mafia. The best name ever in my opinion. Not only are we introduced to the Tracksuit Mafia, but we get to see what Kate can do, as under the guise of Ronin, she really kicks some butt. She gets knocked down, but she gets back up, she jumps, she swings, she takes down whoever comes near her, trying to inflict any sort of harm, and she does so while bullets are flying. A really fantastic introduction into who this young girl is and what kind of skills she possesses. She does, of course, inevitably get in over her head as she learns that Armand III is now dead, and the Tracksuit Mafia track her down and outnumber her. That's when Clint comes in to make the save, and the identity of this new Ronin is that of Kate, who he finds out, and this marks the end of the first episode. We dive right into where we left off with the second episode, as Clint is left babysitting this girl who just sort of is starstruck to see Hawkeye for the first time ever. We get a small glimpse at the chemistry of these two so early on, and honestly it really is great. So glad to see that these two play off each other so well and so early on. Not only that, but we get the repercussions of Kate's actions and the Tracksuit Mafia easily tracking her down and setting her apartment on fire. A mess Clint now finds himself in the middle of, and one that Kate wants to help out with despite his objections. We also get the name of Pizza Dog, a title of nobility as Kate puts it, as she seemed to be a bit taken with this one-eyed pizza-loving dog. He just honestly was so cute, such a good little mascot for the show. It's going to be good to see him, again, play off these two characters later on down the line. We also get a nice clip of Clint coming to patch up Kate properly after their bad night, and again, so touching to see Clint is still this kind, caring human being after all he's been through. A testament to what Clint brings to the huge world of superpowered beings. He's just a good guy who wants to help. I've always loved that they display that when it comes to Clint. He has a heart despite being this super spy, superhero, guy in a terrible world. Yeah, it's just good to see that side of him still shines through. Now, on the topic of heroes, Clint is seen sending his family away, packing them in a car and sending them off to their mother. Again, doing what he has to, keeping his loved ones safe as he deals with this mess that he currently finds himself in. This then cuts straight into a scene of Clint finally in a t-shirt, where we can see the tattoo, the massive sleeve he has on his left arm, and I instantly took that as seeing Clint now suiting up, getting back into the man he was, the soldier he was, if you were. Despite his grisly facade though, Kate reminds him of something really important in a great clip. We see the two of them walking through New York City, and a little kid runs up to see the big superhero that he's just seen. He runs straight past Clint and Kate, only to get a picture with Captain America and the Hulk and Katniss Everdeen, all done up in costumes. Kate jokingly tells Clint that his brand needs work. And in asking her what his brand is, if that's the purpose of selling merchandise or movies, she stops and tells him no, it's to sell inspiration, which just, to me that was akin to the great power comes great responsibility line for Peter Parker, just reminding him who he is and the hero that he is. And again, such a great dynamic between these two. Like, Kate is a starry-eyed good person Clint used to be before all these battles and the losses he has suffered throughout his life. Okay, so moving back into the story, after finding a lead on Clint's missing Ronin costume from the earlier arson attack from the Tracksuit Mafia, we find the infamous Hawkeye at a live-action roleplay scene in the park, or LARP, if you will. He has the guys in his sights, but there is no going on to the battlefield without signing up, of course. Some great MCU humour to ease the tension and get a small laugh as the infamous Hawkeye, a man who was taking down aliens and robots and saved the universe, is now playing dress-up with a rubber sword. Just watching him hit the battlefield was hilarious. The slow-motion attacks and parries to get to this guy who asks if he can slay the mighty hero. Just the look on his face was priceless as they had a battle to the death. Absolutely hilarious. Props to all you LARP peeps out there. It looks like a blast. So he gets the suit back, but we find out that Clint's job is still not done. He calls another family, and this scene was really kind of sad. Clint just explaining to his wife that his job isn't finished, that he has 5 days to keep a promise to his daughter that he's going to be home in time for Christmas. A sad moment that he knows he's the only man for the job, but yeah, that there's still light at the end of the tunnel for him. Then, probably one of my favourite scenes from the 2 episodes tonight, Kate's having dinner with her mum and Jack. You can tell she's on edge trying to catch him off guard with the fact that his uncle's now dead, and she's asking how the inheritance works. She then starts having a few digs at him by telling him that he seems so into swords, and she's actually a champion fencer. This leads to her literally challenging Jack to a duel. However, this is where we see the cunning of Jack. He keeps letting Kate win, as she puts it. The smirk on his face, the ego he has by flipping the situation around to make it seem like Kate is the crazy one in this situation. Honestly, it was just masterfully played. That all leads up to him giving Kate a clue. This is where we see Kate go out and try and save Clint, who has been intentionally kidnapped by the Tracksuit Mafia. Watching him play it off that he knows nothing about Kate, and then having Kate fall through the ceiling, again, just another funny little moment. And then basically what we had all been waiting for, the reveal of Echo. This was just such a great way to finish off the second episode. And that's it, 2 episodes down, a great start to the series, and one I'm going to be tuning for every Wednesday at 7 p.m, without question. Okay, so that does it for both episodes. Honestly, really great start to the series. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. Tell me, what did you guys think? Leave a like and comment if you have any thoughts or opinions you want to share. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next one.